No trip to Vietnam would be complete without a visit to the famous HaLong Bay. And after our first 2 days in Hanoi, we decided to book a luxury cruise for 2 nights to get the full experience. I would summarize it as a beautiful disappointment. We were picked up by a shuttle bus from our hotel in the old town of Hanoi. We were excited for 3 days of luxury overlooking the limestone karsts and islands of this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Follow along with us to see what it's really like to cruise through HaLong Bay, the excursions that are included, and the ups and downs of booking a luxury cruise. Booked with Peony cruises and paid roughly $270 per night for 2 nights. This price was inclusive of the private room with balcony, all food and excursions, but unfortunately not alcohol. We were welcomed on board with a drink and a buffet lunch while they gave us our detailed and regimented itinerary for the next few days.
Look at this luxury here.
All myself, baby.
All to yourself. Wow. This is something else. How is it?
It's warm. It's a warm bathtub in like 40-degree temperature.
Oh
But
man.
I'm gonna enjoy it anyway.
Nice.
And a nice cold drink,
Yeah.
which is the next step.
Yeah.
It wasn't long after arriving on the boat that we were transferred to a secondary boat again to take us to our first excursion. Kayaking through caves in a beautiful bay surrounded with the iconic towering cliffs of the HaLong Bay area. We were given the option of kayaking or joining a boat paddled by a local, but opted to get a bit of exercise with our own kayak.
figured it would be a little bit more secluded with our boat, but all the boats have come here. But yeah, it was nice to kayak, be self-sufficient for a little bit, and we checked out some caves, went through a couple caves, and now we're back, and now we're waiting for the very last of our group before we head back to the big boat.
I think we're doing HaLong Bay's greatest hits, so I think this is what everyone does when they come
The
here.
greatest hits, yeah.
So here's another video of all the things that everyone does in HaLong Bay.
Yeah.
Nothing new here.
We finished our first day with drinks while watching an amazing sunset from the top deck. Followed by a bit of a disappointing dinner that set the standard for things to come on the following days. The nighttime activity was squid fishing off the back of the boat, which unbeknownst to us would end up being served to us for a number of meals on the trip. And as it turns out, I'm not a huge fan of squid.
If you were to pick one thing that's a downside of staying in HaLong Bay, what would you pick?
Bad karaoke.
Oh yeah? Is there bad karaoke? Should we listen?
And thus and his hunger for power became drawn to more and more people. The demand to do something about this man became louder and louder. Rah, rah, Russian.
Next day, we were woken by a loudspeaker in a room at 6 a.m. announcing that it was time to swim off the back of the boat, followed by a breakfast buffet starting at 7 and an immediate departure for the day's activities on another secondary boat at 8. We skipped the morning options and slept in until just before departure at 8 a.m. First activity was a trip to Viet Hai Village in Cat Ba National Park. This village was previously an isolated community of locals, but the recent addition of a road has created a path for the mass tourism of cruise ships to visit the small farming community either by bicycle or a short ride in small shuttle cars. Once again, we opted to stretch our legs with a bit of exercise, which ended up being more difficult than we thought due to the poor maintenance of the bikes that we were given. How's it going?
Good. Exploring this little village. It's really nice. We just biked in here. 5 kilometers, 2 big hills. But now it's raining, so hopefully it's not too slippery on the way back. It's really beautiful.
Next on the itinerary was another kayaking trip that we decided to skip, followed by a visit to what was described to us as a white sand beach, but ended up being not much more than a busy sandbars surrounded by plastic garbage. One of the most shocking parts of HaLong Bay, or maybe not that shocking actually, but a little unexpected, is just how much garbage is in the water. Literally, we're in a bay moored with tons of other boats here, so it's probably to be expected, but there's just garbage floating everywhere around here. All that debris in the distance there. Which is especially right next to us over here. Might not look much on camera, but when they ask you if you want to swim in this water, you gotta question it. It's beautiful if you just look at the bigger picture. Just look up. Don't look down. Same salad we had for lunch yesterday. Plain rice, a piece of bread, and squid for the 4th time in a row. How do you feel?
Very stuffed.
This is luxury eating right here. Luxury, luxury, luxury. Coming to the end of our HaLong Bay cruise experience. We're just being driven back to the port, which is one of the only times we've actually been moving in this boat. And I would summarize it as a beautiful disappointment.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, there is. I mean, this scenery is amazing and a must-see. But the cruise experience is
there's a lot wrong with it.
pay for luxury, but
what you get is kind of just mass, impersonal luxury thing.
Yeah.
It's like a budget group tour for luxury prices.
Yeah. On a nice boat, though. The boat is nice, and the scenery is nice.
We spent very little time actually on this boat and in our room. So I don't know. If I did it again, I'd probably do a more budget one with younger budget travelers. So would you recommend it?
No. I would recommend getting on a smaller boat to do this. You don't need the pretend luxury of paying $300-400 a night, I don't think. The smaller boats move around more, they get to the sites easier.
Without a secondary boat?
Without a secondary boat, so you don't have to be changing boats.
But it's cool to be able to wake up in this scenery, right?
Yeah, beautiful balcony.
But also, you wake up to a loudspeaker announcement in your room at like 7 a.m. every morning. So I have not slept.
No.
Luxury you usually are able to sleep in, but not here.
Yeah, if you want relaxation and a relaxing itinerary, do not go on one of these boats. They're just strict schedules and they're waking you up really early in the morning.
Breakfast at 7? I don't get up for breakfast at 7 on holiday. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to recommend visiting HaLong Bay for its stunning beauty, but as with many beautiful places that we have visited during our 1 year of travel, unsustainable mass tourism and the ever-growing number of cruise ships that clutter the once pristine waters of HaLong Bay have taken their toll on the environment, and the itinerary, which appeared to be the same on every boat, left it feeling impersonal and inauthentic. If you have visited HaLong Bay yourself, let us know what you thought in the comments below. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. It helps us out a lot if you consider liking and subscribing to follow us in the rest of our journey around the world.